Hello and welcome to the first video of my beginner's guide in No Man's Sky 2025. This series of videos is mainly aimed at new players to the game, or players who have been away for some time, have decided to jump back in after the new Worlds Part 2 update. But there may also be some tips and tricks in there for players who have been playing the game for quite some time, because there are a number of things in this game that the game just doesn't tell you. Also, if you are one of those people who have played this game for a while and watching this video, there's things that I may have missed, or things that maybe are hidden that I haven't explained in a particular video, then please do let me know down in the comments, because we're always learning in this game, as it doesn't tell you everything. And we are at the first page, or the first screen you get when you open up the game here, and we have latest news and patch notes if you want to have a look at that down here. And here is the Worlds Part 2 update that has recently come out, and there have been a number of patches since, and more patches to come, I am sure. So this is a little bit of information here for you if you want to have a look at that one. You can join your friends and enter a multiplayer game with friends. I don't have any, so I won't be doing this today. Then there is an options button down here, which gives you your display, your graphics, your general stuff, whether you want your network on, your voice chat, etc., all of that stuff on. And the controls, I'm using a Xbox controller, so you can sort all that out, accessibility and all sorts of things there. We're going to start a new game, so we're going to go into play, then we're going to go down to the bottom here and start a new game. And then you've got a bunch of options here. You've got normal mode, relaxed mode, which is fewer costs and fewer systems to manage as part of your exosuit, your starship, your multi-tool, etc., etc., all kinds of different things there. Then there is creative mode, which is everything is just free in the game, and this is where people create some fantastic builds for base building and things like that. You've got a survival mode here, which is basically more hazards, smaller inventory, increased cost for everything, and it's a bit more challenging for players. And then down here at the bottom right, we have the Expedition, and currently Expedition 17 Titan is ongoing. You've got 5 weeks remaining at time of recording to complete this expedition. Also, expedition reduxes are available at the end of the year. We had 5 this year, going from November to February, and you can do some of the ones that you missed throughout the year, or they also put some that have been done years before. So we actually had expedition 1, I think it was, or was it 2? I think it might have been 2, Beachhead, this year, which I hadn't done, so it was really good for me to be able to do that one. I'm going to go for a custom game today, so from gentle to permadeath, take total control over your experience. One thing to mention on here, well, actually a couple of things to mention from the off here. We've got universe population, we've got abandoned or standard here. Abandoned was introduced as part of the Worlds Part 2 update, and if you click abandoned, essentially the whole universe has been abandoned by all life forms, apart from obviously the creatures that can't leave the planet and the Sentinels. So basically the Sentinels won. And it's quite an interesting mode if you want to go and do that. I think that's probably for more experienced players maybe, because you can't get stuff from space stations or from the anomaly. The anomaly's there, and you can't get anything from it. But I'll explain what the anomaly is if you don't know what that is later on in the series. So we're going to go with standard there. Then there's also a thing called permadeath mode, which if we go to the top here, we can actually flick through to normal, creative, relaxed and survival, and then permadeath. Now if you're in permadeath and you die, like I did recently, you will lose your save and it will be deleted. So yeah, it's quite challenging, that one. It's basically survival, and you die and your save is deleted. But I'm going to go with survival, and I'm going to change some of these other settings here. So survival elements are on full. It's challenging. Natural resources on scarce. Sprinting is standard, fine. Scanner recharge I'm going to leave on standard. Damage levels I'm going to change to standard for this playthrough. If it's on challenging and you get hit by a load of sentinels or pirates, your technology can break, and it can be quite frustrating, but it is challenging, and that's, you know, that's the right word for it. Technology damage here, which I just kind of explained, we're going to leave on challenging as well. Actually, no, we're going to change that to minimal, I think. Death consequences, items destroyed, we're going to put that down to standard for this playthrough. Leave it on standard other than abandoned for universal population. Fuel usage, we'll leave it expensive. We'll leave those as they are. Purchases, fine. Inventory stack is going to be restricted. Enemy strength, we're going to put to challenge in here. Predators are on. Tutorial missions enabled because this is a beginner's guide. Going to leave the inventory transfer range, the hyperdrive system access specialist. Okay. If you put it in unrestricted, you can go anywhere, but with specialist, you need certain tech to get to certain systems. Definitely a good idea to go through that. Base power standard. Fishing timing, we'll just leave that one. Reputation standard gaining, leave that as well. And we'll leave the last two as well. So let's start our game. Confirm and start. So when we start a new game in No Man's Sky, we will always start in Galaxy 0, or what the community calls Galaxy number 1, which is Euclid. There are 256 galaxies in this universe, so there's plenty to explore. Begin initialization. Now we are going to wake up on a hazardous planet, no doubt. You normally do, whether it's cold, radiated, or whether it's super hot. You can see down in the bottom left hand corner there, you can see the temperature. You can see we've got radiation and toxic levels there, and the name of the planet you're on. The top left hand corner has your shield and your health bar. We are going to start with some broken items. Standard multi-tool, which is not very good. Very few technology modules or anything like that in our exosuit. We are going to have to hunt down our starship. And this is one of the first starting exosuits you get, because you can customize your exosuit as we'll go through. I do quite like this one. As you can see, my hazard protection is already falling there on the bottom left hand side. So what have we got? Let's have a look at our items. This is our multi-tool. Our scanner is broken, but we do have a working mining beam. We need 75 ferrite dust to get that. We have no other technology in our multi-tool. Our starship is quite far away. We'll look at the initial starting starship when we get there. And our exosuit has a life support. It has a hazard protection, which we can move, and we have a jetpack as well. We can move these by, as you can see there on the screen, pressing X on my controller, and I can move that anywhere in my technology storage here. If I want to, I can press Y on certain technologies, and that will allow me to store it in my cargo. I can't do it with these three because they are essential technologies. Now let's see. No visor installed because we don't have anything on there. So we need 1 carbon nanotubes for that. We can also make the bolt caster to try and defend ourselves, but we're not going to get chromatic metal straight away, and we have a personal force field here. So we need to get some ferrite dust straight away. We do have some cobalt here. Cobalt and ferrite dust will make us some batteries, so it's definitely worth grabbing this. Worst thing comes to worst, we can hide in a cave or try and find a cave system which will give us cobalt and some other items as well, like oxygen and things that we can collect from certain minerals and like flora from the planet. So let's grab some of this cobalt. Not very often that you see cobalt lying around like that. This will be some ferrite dust here. This is a small amount. Little rocks littering the surface of this weird and wonderful planet, but we need to collect that relatively quickly because we need to fix our items and possibly make some batteries to ensure our hazard protection doesn't fall all the way down, because we will be in trouble. Tons of oxygen here. We've got an oxygen field, a small oxygen field. We need this because this is going to be important for our thingamajiggy. It is called a life support system. This will recharge that for us, and it will give us oxygen to create other items as well. Is that going to be a load of carbon? It is. We're going to need carbon. Yep, I know, thank you. I have it automatically. I unconsciously, constantly hit my scanner button which is why that came up and told me it was still broken. So let's get some of this carbon here. Also, if we can see some sodium, that would be great, because that will allow us to... Oh, there's some ferrite dust. Nice amount of ferrite dust there, because that will allow us to recharge our hazard protection, for which is still going down relatively slowly, but it's still going down nonetheless. Have we got 75 carbon? Not yet, but we've got these geodes from getting some ferrite dust. That might give us some... Oh no, it gave us some cobalt and ionized cobalt, which is fine. We don't have the terrain manipulator either, which is a little bit disappointing at the moment. We can't build that either, can we? Let's get this damaged technology. This living slime will take for now. We can refine that when we get a refiner into certain things, as we'll come across. Oh, that one's actually above. Look, we can get this technology module and get this salvage data because it was above ground. No visor installed. Can we create the visor now? Because we have some carbon. Radiation protection is quite significantly low. Let's make some carbon nanotubes, which will allow us to fit the visor. Now this visor is great. We hit it by pressing L2 and it will show things for us. So there's our starship. It's a distance of 500 away. We need to head right over there. We can't get pure ferrite just yet because we don't have the advanced mining beam. So the advanced mining beam will allow us to get more advanced materials, bigger materials. But obviously we are nowhere near getting that yet. That is a mining beam upgrade, just so you know, for your multi-tool, in case you didn't know. What a weird and wonderful planet. Definitely need some sodium, and I need some more. The thing is, I've woken up on a planet where there is not a lot of ferrite dust. But what we can do is take this. We will be able to refine that later. Hopefully this will give us something decent and give us a microprocessor. That is decent, but we can't really use that at this moment in time. Ah, sodium. There you go. Right, let's pick up this sodium and instantly grab it and put it into here. There you go. Okay, 39% is better than nothing. We can also do that by pressing the down button on directional pad here, going up and looking at what we can recharge. So our mining beam needs recharging. We've only got carbon, which is able to do that at the moment. Then it will tell you what it's able to recharge with as well, or what items you can use to recharge it. So we go back into it. We can use a sodium and ion battery or sodium nitrate to recharge our hazard protection. We'll head on to our starship and see if we can find any more ferrite dust here. It's not too far away. Look, it's only over there. There it is. You can also zoom in by pressing the R3 button down, and it will zoom in twice so you can see a bit further forward. I don't have 75, do I? Nope. Still need some 75 here. We can also scan with our analysis visor here by scanning a fauna, which will give us 3,000. We get upgrades for our scanner, and that will be in the hundreds of thousands sometimes, tens of thousands, etc. We can also do it by we can also scan minerals like this pure ferrite, and then it will tell us then what the secondary is. So we've got pure ferrite there, and the secondary is carbon, but we need the advanced mining laser to actually get any of that. Do the same with trees and more animals and things. It's worth doing it for nanites. If we were to upload these things in our discoveries, so back one and just upload here, it will give us 36 for what we've already scanned. Right, more ferrite dust. Let's collect some of this because we can probably fix our scanner very shortly. Beautiful. Yeah, it's telling me I can now repair it. I have 75 out of 75. So click on it, repair it, and there you go. We have our scanner. Now I can press my scanner and it will scan and it will highlight to hydrogen. There's some sodium, some oxygen there, some hydrogen again. And yeah, there's all kinds of items around here we can now go and get, which we are going to need to fix our ship so we can get off this hellhole of a planet. It's kind of beautiful, but it does look kind of hellish to me. Let's grab some more carbon here. Lovely. Oxygen on the way. We can trigger our scanner again. And there is some more sodium. Definitely grab that. Another little trick to be aware of is that if you start to run, so we push down R3 and then we trigger and X at the same time, we'll get this little jetpack boost jump, which is a nice way of getting around planets. Oh, hello little crater. Look at you. Lovely. There you go. So we've come close enough that it's detected the starship distress signal. So essentially our first starship is our crashed ship. Let's grab some of this hydrogen. We are going to need it for a jelly, a hydrogen gel. And your multi-tool will overheat if you use it for too long a period. As you can see on the top right, the bar is going up the longer I hold on to the mining tool. And you've also got the level of charge it has. And it will overheat, and you'll have to wait a few seconds for it to sort itself out. I wonder if there's a cave down there. A cave would be good right now. Right, so here's our starship. Let's do our little jumpy jetpack trick. Let's get down there quicker. And this is the first starship we all start with. Radiant Pillar BC1. I remember when this game first came out, it looked a lot different in terms of the graphics and the icons and decals and stuff. Right, we'll grab all this sort of stuff. We definitely want to keep this rusted metal for now. Don't get rid of it because it's useful early game. Let's grab this as well. And then here we want to get our some nanites. We've got some residual goop. We'll keep that and see what we can do with that in a minute. Beautiful. We don't have a terrain manipulator yet. I can't make that, can I? No, I cannot. Let's just do that, although they haven't got a lot there. Let's go and sit in the starship for a moment. Get this going while our hazard protection sorts itself out. So what we're getting now is the start of the starship auto diagnostic. So we're going to need to fix this. Okay, so we're online. Atlas connection is imminent. Launch thrusters online. Pulse engine offline. And then we get the start of the lore. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But the ship at least seems to recognise me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out of the stars. So I'm going to... Doesn't really matter which one you do here. I'm going to connect to my exosuit. Log hashtag 4925A unavailable, substituting data. Exosuit connected. Suggestion: pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired repair path. So we're going to repair our ship's systems. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. So our pulse engine, we need a hermetic seal and metal plating to create that. And if we have a look at the starship now, because we can go into our inventories here, and to do that you are just pressing on the Xbox controller, not the start button, but the button to the left of that. I don't know what it's called. So we can go into our starship inventory here, and we've also got the launch thrusters we need to fix, which is pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. So as you can see on the bottom left there, by sitting in our starship, the hazard protection is going up. So it's sorting itself out just by sitting in here. So if we were to enter a cave, for example, which I can't see one around here, that would also help. So I don't know the hermetic seal right now. That's telling me what I need to fix. If we have a look at what recipes I can craft, if I go into my exosuit, go into cargo, click on craft product, which is A in one of the slots, you can see what I can craft material wise. And this, I only have these 4 things I can craft, and it will tell me what I need to craft one of them, which is for the metal plating I need 50 ferrite dust, of which I have 20. I can make some iron batteries, and if I actually press R1 it will go up. So as you can see on the bottom there of the iron battery it says A build. I'm pressing up, and if I go to L1 I can go down. I can make 4 total, but I can also make 2 if I want to make 2, and I'll make 2 so I can keep my hazard protection going for a little bit longer. Now what I'm going to need to do is get some more ferrite dust. That is a must. So we are going to head over in this direction to get some after we have spoken to this. Iteration, hashtag, and then there's a bunch of numbers ending in G. Scenario iteration, hashtag 2311876661T deleted. Boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16 has been emptied. Cause, sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer. Analysis, fresh iteration generated. Anomaly containment prepared. I'm going to broadcast. Broadcast received. Traveller anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant. Position logged. System integrity scan initialized. So there we go. We've started that part of the lore as well. So the simulation as such knows we're here. Let's head in this direction, see what items we can find. We are going to need quite a few. There is some ferrite dust. Grab all of this. There are some weird animals on this planet. This is a very strange planet. Beautiful. Let's get some more carbon. We're definitely going to need that. We analyze it. What's the secondary in this? Is it going to be oxygen? Yes, it is oxygen. And it's a good idea to get the secondary, or at least scan it. If you scan it, then you will get the secondary. If you don't, you won't get it. So it's a good idea to definitely get the secondary element. There won't be a lot of it. Like, there's only 6 oxygen in there, but it's worth it. Especially if you're in survival mode or permadeath mode. Okay, we've overheated. We've still got 25%. We're okay. Some more carbon. Now these big crystals, this is a massive crystal of the hydrogen. You need the advanced mining laser to get that one. Won't be able to get that one just yet. So we'll stick with the hydrogen crystals. And some more ferrite dust. Our radiation protection is falling. Use some sodium to recharge that quickly. Let's scan for some more stuff. Is there any sodium around us? I could have used one of my batteries, but I went for the sodium instead. So in our start menu here, we've got discoveries, catalogue and guide, which we'll go through at some point, but we've got log as well here. We've got primary missions and secondary missions. So our secondary mission is to repair crucial starship systems. We click on here and go into Awakenings, which is our first primary mission part of the tutorials. We've got repair starship and multi-tool systems before we can move along that. So in some cases, quite a lot of cases actually, the primary missions take secondary missions to be completed before we can move on. And there's some primary missions that do the same to other primary missions as well. So we are looking to fix our systems essentially before we can move on to Awakenings. So I haven't scanned this, which means I'm not going to get the secondary out of this. Secondary being dihydrogen, which is a very useful... Oh, no, we're out now. Very useful a mineral. We need to create a lot of things. Let's grab this sodium down here. Lovely. More dihydrogen. Now I have no doubt that there's going to be a storm on this planet eventually, and it will come, but we need to get the hermetic seal. So that's why I'm sort of taking this opportunity to run around the planet and get some resources, or at least as much as I think is necessary. We're just running out of sodium quite a bit. Is this a small amount? It is. So these little crystals of carbon we can actually get with a normal laser. Mining laser. We can't do that with the big crystals. There's big crystals of condensed carbon like you saw with the dihydrogen. There's also there uranium deposit, which would be great to get, but we just can't do that yet because we do not have the terrain manipulator. There's also containers on here, salvage containers, which have good items in them, which we also need the terrain manipulator for, but we'll get that very shortly. I found a cave, which is great. Let's head into this cave quickly. I do want to see what's down here. There's some dangerous flora, but if we destroy them, we'll get oxygen. So we can destroy these for oxygen, so it's not going to cause us an issue if we really want to. Also down here you have some marrow bulb, which isn't really worth getting yet. There's some cobalt here. And silver is the secondary item, so definitely worth scanning that one. This cobalt is different. It has a different secondary item, which I thought I scanned, but apparently not. I scanned something else. I thought maybe I scanned the marrow bulb. This has ionized cobalt, so we'll definitely grab that. Cobalt is a really good resource. To be honest with you, everything in No Man's Sky is a good resource, I guess. But early game, cobalt, oxygen, ferrite dust, sodium, to hydrogen. Did I say carbon? They're all really good early game materials that you're going to need. There you go, we got hurt by one. Look, it's got some toxins, we need to run away from it. So this cave isn't the biggest cave in the world. As part of the new update and the new systems, you get some massive caves that are really cool to go and scout out. One actually goes a little bit further down there. So let's recharge our life support with some of the oxygen we've been collecting. Try and get out of this cave. Now, do I have enough ferrite dust here for 2 metal plates? I do not, and there's a reason why I want 2. To actually fix the starship using a metal plate and use one to create a portable refiner. So let's grab some more ferrite dust. That is pure ferrite, we can't get that one. Let's grab this one. By the way, when you use your mining beam and the heat goes up, actually the hotter the better it works. So sometimes it's a good idea to keep it hot because it will mine quicker. Look how quick it's mining, the hotter it is. You just risk obviously overheating. But let's head back. I should have enough now. Yep, so let's click on our cargo here. I want to make 2 of you. Thank you. Head back to the starship. We should also be able to make a dihydrogen here. Can we do that? We can. It's fine. We are all good. Right, what we're going to do is just sit in the starship so our radiation protection sorts itself out. And now what we can do is fix half of the pulse engines with the metal plates, half of the launch thrusters with the dihydrogen jelly. Now we need the hermetic seal and we need the pure ferrite. So to get the pure ferrite, what I'm going to do is make a portable refiner. So if I press up on my directional D-pad on my controller here, you'll see an option to create the portable refiner. You need 1 metal plating and 30 oxygen to do that, which is why I wanted the other metal plating. And then if we click on it, we go into it here. So it's just X, hold it, and it goes round. Fuel inverter, we need condensed carbon or carbon to fuel this. I'm going to use carbon to start with. Why? Okay, I don't have a lot of carbon. It's fine. And then what I'm going to do is take all of that rusted metal and I'm going to make ferrite dust out of it. 144 rusted metal converts into 250 ferrite dust. Which is why you should always keep your rusted metal, especially early game. Because we can then refine that ferrite dust into pure ferrite, which we need to fix the starship. We do need, however, some more carbon or condensed carbon. Oh look, there's some birds. Hello bird. So let's go grab a ton of carbon. Let's go this way. There's also a couple of oxygen here, so definitely when you're running around, just collect things. If you see it in front of you, give it a little bit of a collect because you need it. Let's grab a load of these trees of carbon. Okay, we've got a bunch of carbon from those trees. Oh, sorry, Mr. Animal, I didn't see you there. To run straight into you. The hydrogen, definitely worth it. It's coming night time now. And sometimes at night, the radiation can get worse, the heat can get worse, the cold can get worse, etc. So let's head in this direction, get our ferrite dust. Okay, we run out there. So let's grab some of this. Go again, just make sure we get the 250 out of it. Can sit in our starship. However, it's now going to help us find the hermetic seal recipe we need to fix this starship. So it's given me my long iteration number and says we're functional, but the starship is critically damaged. Vital ingredients are missing. Unable to synthesize required components. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Then we've got request assistance or leave. Of course we are going to request assistance. Iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. Okay, good. So now it's given us that as part of our log to go and do. So we need to speak to the distress beacon there. But before I do that, I'm going to have a look at this ferrite dust. Okay, it's done. We've got the 250. Now I'm going to quick transfer that and the rusted metal back in here. Now if we go here, back into our transfer items into the portable refiner, we have a look for our ferrite dust. We've got 318. What I want to do is refine this into about 50 ferrite dust. So if I click on it, I can then press X to quick split. And now I've got 159 of it, not 318. Now I've got 79 of it, not 150, whatever it was. And I can refine 79 of this into 79 pure ferrite, because I don't want to refine all of my pure ferrite all of my ferrite dust into pure ferrite. I want to make sure that some of it is kept as ferrite dust. And to fix the starship, we only need the 50 ferrite pure ferrite made out of the ferrite dust. Oh, that was hard for me to say for some reason. While that's doing that, what we'll do is speak to the distress beacon as it's telling us to do. Appear inside the beacon's housing as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. We'll take the planetary chart. Now we have the planetary chart, and what we can do is plot route by pressing X. However, before I do that, I'm going to grab my pure ferrite here, and I am going to fix that part of the starship that requires pure ferrite. And now always remember, if you can, because I leave these portable refiners everywhere, to pick it up by holding RS. And you can pick that up, you'll get your carbon back that was the fuel, and you'll see that your portable refiner is now in your cargo of your exosuit. So let's plot the route by pressing X on the map. And there it is. How far away is it? It's 813 away, and we are going to have to walk there. So let's start heading there. I am almost certain a storm is going to come at some point during this walk, so we need to be quick because that is going to hurt us, especially in survival mode. I can't help but collect more resources because that's just who I am. Right, let's head over to the location specified. We'll do some scanning along the way. So on the route, look, there's some oxygen here, and we'll take the oxygen. If we press R3 and we run, we can see on the bottom right the running man is going down. If we let that go all the way down and hit red, it's going to take longer for it to actually fill back up so we can run again. There you go, there's the incoming storm. Because where if we hold it and we run to a certain point and we press it again, it will fill up quicker because we haven't let it go red. Just a little bit of a tip there as well, and we'll do our jetpack run, jump, fire trick to get across the terrain as quickly as we possibly can. Right, we are going to use our batteries there. I'm sure we can make some more. it's always good to get some condensed carbon, especially the smaller ones early game, because they are better for fuel. It's more economic. As you can see, our hazard protection is falling quite rapidly now in this storm. So it's good that we've made it here quite quickly. 500U isn't all that far, but when you're early game and you've got no upgrades, no tech, you do need to run through to this quite quickly. And as we enter this little hut here, our radiation protection will go up. We've got some navigation data here, so these little items, sometimes they're blue. If we click on them, we'll get a nav data, and they are quite good. We can trade those for maps and things, as I'll come across in future episodes. We've got the hollow archive, we'll take that. And this will give us our hermetic seal recipe. Entry follows. No one making this recording in case. Leaving behind something in the fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged, can't find ship. So this is another anomaly who's having issues, and he's left us a recipe. We'll recover the supplies, and then we get the hermetic seal to repair our ship. Now we need to get back to do that. We also need to make sure we have enough condensed carbon to do that, and it only takes 30, and we already have 35. If you were to refine your carbon, that would, in your portable refiner, that would refine to condensed carbon. So another good reason to be able to do that. But it's actually given us a hermetic seal anyway. But if you wanted to, if you didn't get that in a permadeath mode, I don't think you get it every time. You would refine your carbon into condensed carbon. So the storm is still going on, but we're okay. We're going to head back here, see if we can survive the storm out here. Wonder if I can make some more. I can. Let's make 3 batteries. Try and, there you go. The storm is clearing anyway. So we'll head back and fix said ship. Get some more hydrogen. Need to recharge with some oxygen there, and with what we can do, because it keeps saying I need to recharge with 2 batteries. My hazard protection here. If I press A on it, move and stack, but then press quick split, I can get 1, and I can put 1 in there rather than using 2. Because in survival mode, you need 2 to get to 100%, but only 1 to get to like 80-90%, depending on the level of the current hazard protection. And using 2 just is a waste of materials. You really just want to be using 1 at a time. We've made it back to the ship safe and sound. We can get in it now, and we can repair the pulse engine. Now what we have in this ship at the moment is, yeah, we've done that, thank you, trinitum. Now trinitum actually recharges your pulse engine. Put 100 in there, it was already on 50, it's now on 92, so you can see how much it's going to take to get that thing to full. We have rocket launcher, which is like a secondary weapon. We have our photon cannon here, we have a shield, we have the pulse engine as I mentioned, and we have the launch thrusters, which are at 50%. To fill up those launch thrusters, we need Starship launch fuel, which is a pain in my opinion, because 1 metal plating for each is just an absolute nightmare. But we'll make 5, and then we'll try and make 5 of these, because it's hydrogen, 200 hydrogen, which is why I was collecting all that hydrogen, and 5 metal plating. So we've got at least some Starship fuel. Because if you land on a planet, don't land in a specific landing bay or landing spot at a location, every time you take off, it will cost you launch fuel. And every time you summon your starship, it will cost you launch fuel. And if you don't have launch fuel, and you've run off from your starship through a planet, sort of discovering stuff and exploring, and you can't summon in your starship and you're miles away from it, you have to walk all the way back. So just remember that. Try and keep your launch thrusters as full as you possibly can throughout. Now we've done that, our log, test the analysis visor, which we've kind of done, to be honest, but I'm going to do it quickly. Flora, fauna and minerals for units. I just want to get this one done before we head off. This is just a secondary mission, so we don't have to do this. So we'll scan this beastie. There you go. Done that. Locate the starship. We've already done that, mate. Leave the planet is our primary mission, and all our secondary missions are now done on planet. So let's get into Radiant Pillar. There are two visuals you can do here in your starship. You can have this one, the cockpit, or you can press down, go across the settings or utilities. It's the settings wheel. Go up, and then your switch starship view is there, so you can have this third person. You can also do that with your character as well. But let's launch off by holding RT or R2 if you're old like me. Head up and out into space. And there we go. We are successfully left the planet. We are in Euclid Galaxy. We are in this system. And we're just about to enter an asteroid field, which is good because we need some more trinitum. So let's shoot some asteroids and see what we can get out of them. Just using my photon cannon. We can switch by pressing Y to my secondary, which is the rocket launcher, which will blow them up a lot quicker. Right, whoosh, there you go. So use a mixture of the two to get a load of... Don't shoot these people. If you shoot these by accident, they'll start fighting you. If they start fighting me now, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. Although No Man's Sky isn't the hardest game in terms of combat, I really don't want to be fighting him right now. So I'm getting silver, I'm getting gold, which is good. Look, he's flying around me like an absolute loon. He's waiting for me to shoot him. And we've got these trinitum hyperclusters, which if we analyse will give us even more trinitum. About 100 per one. Ah, so he is hostile. I've accidentally shot him, so he's hostile. And yeah, he's shooting me. Okay, let's fight him then. This is going to hurt my reputation. But he's going to keep shooting at me. So let's blow up his shield. Let's see if we can kill him. Nice little early fight. There you go. Nice and easy. Didn't want to be fighting him, but I had to. And we got a Starship shield module for that. So if you do take him on, you can get upgrades. It's only a C. It's better than nothing right now. And that gives me 14% plus shield. Which is decent. Right. Now, orbital flight achieved. We need to test our Starship system. So it wants to test the pulse engine. Which we've done. That's by pressing B. And then we've got the pulse engines by holding R1 and L1. We've achieved that as well. I think the other one was the photon cannon. We did that. So there you go. We've tested those. And now we get an unknown frequency. So to listen to the frequency, press down. It will come up automatically as Starship Communicator. You can go across and there's other options here we'll come on to later. Incoming transmission. Source hashtag 4925B. Please identify yourself. We'll identify ourselves. You are not alone. Follow the something. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. So we'll input that data into the starship, and that will give us our next place to go and see our signal source over there, approximate location. And as we are pulsing through here, I can scan with my starship and it will give me the scan of the planet. So it's a torrid planet. It's got salvageable scrap, selenium, copper, phosphorus and sodium. And as you can see, there are other planets in here we can do this. If we drop out of pulse engine by pressing both triggers down, L1 and L2, we can have a look at this planet and then we can scan it with our starship scanner. And that's a verdant planet, starbulb, copper, paraffinium, magnesium and aggressive sentinels. I might want to avoid the aggressive sentinels. We're going to go to the signal source, so let's keep going. If we press start again and go into our loglet, it says find the cache, follow the mysterious signal to learn more. So we are doing awakenings. Find us, hear us. The start of the missions. This is going to be the approximate location. So we are going to have to search when we reach the planet's surface. Let's head down. Might be there. It might be up there. I'm going to land here. It probably isn't here actually, but I'm going to land here anyway. Okay, so if we go into our analysis mode here and I press left on the directional keypad. A target in range. Oh, we are in the right place. I found it. Good. If we get this save and chart, we'll save the game here, and we'll also get the navigation data, which we can swap out for certain things, other maps that are useful when we want to go find them. There's the nav data there. So let's go and speak to this little bad boy. And this is a very hot planet. 60.3 degrees. The sparking wires of the machine generates a signal, tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message is long gone. Decipher the signal. Decoding 161616. Entry #4925C. No fuel in. Fail to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to go underground. Deployed base computer. As well as a long entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. Let's extract the plans, of course. We've got the base computer, which is 30 chromatic metal, as a sentinel there is lurking in the picture. And we've got new technology. We've got the terrain manipulator, which we definitely need, and we can definitely make straight away. So if we put that in here, that is 2 carbon nanotubes and 1 hydrogen jelly. So we'll put it in, and then I'll make 2 carbon nanotubes, which I can't make. I can only make the 1. So let's go and get some. Oh, look, there's some really floating long animals here. They are very weird. Let's go and get some carbon. Which is a very unique planet, isn't it? Very hot, dodgy planet. There's some sodium here. Let's get that big old beastie there. Ah, lovely. There's some small carbon crystals of condensed carbon, which we'll definitely take. So different biomes and different worlds have different things more frequently than others, and some have different things to other biomes completely. So there's some things on planets that are not on others. But there's always the base materials on planets. There might just be more of it or less of it, depending on what kind of biome you're in. And then you've got to take into consideration the star systems and how they work, the different colours and what's more frequent in them. For example, a red star system will have cadmium in it, and a blue star system will have indium, and a green will have emerald. And we'll come onto those a bit in the future as well, as we look to explore the universe a bit more. Right, so we can now make our carbon nanotubes into hydrogen jelly for our terrain manipulator. Although we need to do this. Oh, it doesn't like me. Run away. And then we can fix it. I didn't make the dihydrogen jelly. Let's do that. Back into the multi-tool. Now we have a terrain manipulator, which is fantastic. We need this because this will allow us to, for example, get buried technology, get that sodium deposit or that sodium deposit or whatever it may be, and then we will go from there. So that is it for the first episode of the Beginner's Guide, No Man's Sky 2025. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Next episode, we'll be establishing a base in this system, and we'll be continuing through the primary missions and seeing how we get on and how we fare. And of course, more tips and tricks to come.